I felt like a fool. I felt really, really foolish and ridiculous. Hello there, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. So today's video is an update on the scammed video that I will link above if you haven't seen it. So if you've been following me for a while, if you've watched that video, you will know that I had a Gucci Marmont in the velvet in this kind of beautiful deep pink fuchsia colour, which is my absolute favourite colour. And I loved the bag, loved the colour, loved the velvet, but had never used it. I then was doing a bit of a clear out, considered selling that bag, but because I had bought it pre-loved, I had never had it authenticated, which is against my own rule. I get all of my bags independently authenticated. I cannot stress enough to you and urge you enough that if you're buying bags pre-loved from anybody, even from the most trusted seller, because everybody can inadvertently make mistakes, things can slip through the net. So if you're buying from anybody, please get your bag independently authenticated. I suppose the moral of the story is that I didn't right away. And then when I did get it authenticated, when I was thinking of selling the bag, I got it authenticated through real authentication and it came back as counterfeit or fake, and I'll put a little screenshot to show you just what comes back from them. I was gutted, absolutely gutted. I felt like a fool. I felt really, really foolish and ridiculous because I preach to anybody that will listen, get your bags authenticated. Now this video isn't sponsored or anything by Real Authentication. It's really just to give you an update and to please urge caution whenever you're buying any of your own bags pre-loved. They are just the site that I use. I'm sure there's many more. It's the only one I have experience with. I will leave, in case you are getting anything authenticated, there is a code for $5 off that I will leave in the description box, and it just reduces your order. So I get this notification back that it's counterfeit and I was absolutely gutted. And one of the reasons why I was so gutted and felt so stupid was because I had had that bag for probably over a year. And I knew at the time that for me to then try to go back to eBay and PayPal, who would have offered protection if I had got the bag authenticated right away, which is please get your bag authenticated right away, they would have offered protection and my money would have been protected. But I had left it over a year. Somebody said in the comments that I got lax and complacent with my luxury purchases, and you're 110% right. I absolutely did. I don't know Gucci. I have bought a lot of Chanel and Louis Vuitton. I had never bought Gucci. I had no expertise to authenticate the bag. I had just got lax and there is no excuse for it. I should have had it authenticated at the time. So I found out it was counterfeit, jumped on to warn you guys, and the reason for putting out that video is I really wanted to highlight this, and so if anybody else was in this position that you were going to be more cautious. I did confuse some people then after because I pre-filmed, so then there were videos that came after it which still had the Gucci in it, but it was videos that I had filmed before I found out. So I just wanted to come on and give you an update because I get so many questions about this and asking me what happened. I did contact eBay and I did contact PayPal, and I unfortunately was too late. Now, I can't blame eBay or PayPal for that. It's my fault. They both have policies in place. PayPal's lasts longer than eBay's. That if you had found out that a bag was counterfeit and reported it within the time frame, that they would have then helped me to get my money back. But I was too late. I'd had it over a year. I knew that whenever it happened. I reached out to them really in hope over expectation, but I was too late and I didn't get my money back. Lessons learned. Costly lessons learned. And one thing that I also want to address in this video, I got a lot of comments on that video. I came on to do that video whenever I had just found out that it was counterfeit. And I was very upset and I was very dramatic and I felt like such a fool, and it's not nice to be scammed. And I got some particular comments from one person saying, your reaction is disgusting and stay humble, and what if somebody had been looking for a counterfeit bag? And I just want to address that. My reaction whenever I was saying about the bag being in the Temple of Bags behind me was not because it was a counterfeit bag that I had chosen to put in there. I had been sold this bag as an authentic bag. I had paid the price of an authentic bag. And without even getting into what working conditions and conditions can be about counterfeit bags and the legality of them or lack thereof, without even going there, what is disgusting about that situation is the scamming element. If you choose to buy a counterfeit bag, that's entirely up to you. If that's what you choose to have, that is entirely up to you and no judgment from me. What I was so upset about was I had bought that bag as authentic and paid the price as authentic. So for me to have it sitting among my bags thinking it was authentic for over a year, to then find out that it wasn't, that, with the greatest of respect, is what I find to be disgusting. And what I find to be disgusting behind that, rather than my reaction and upset at being scammed, is the fact that somebody was scamming people. When I paid that money, I paid in good faith for an authentic Gucci Marmont bag. I don't have it here anymore to show you, so I'll put a picture. I don't even know if I have a picture anymore, but if I have one, I'll put a picture in. That bag I bought to be authentic. That person sold that to me under a lie. They misrepresented it. They sold it as authentic when they knew that it was counterfeit. That is disgusting behaviour. That is whenever you are trying to scam and fool people out of their money. Now, I am in a very, very fortunate position and a privileged position in that there are more bags behind me than just that Gucci bag. If that had happened to me when I was saving for my first Neverfull, if, say, for example, I hadn't been able to get to a store and I had bought that online and then I found out that that Neverfull was not authentic, I would have been absolutely and utterly devastated. I didn't have any other bags. I would not have been able to be in a position to replace that bag. I wouldn't have been able to be in a position to suck up that loss. And it would have absolutely devastated me. Now, I know these are first world problems and I know that there are bigger things going on in the world. But whenever you save your money and choose to put your money to an item like that, for someone to then take advantage of that and sell you something that isn't authentic is just wrong. It's just wrong. And yes, don't get me wrong, the loss of that money hurts. It hurts. But I can take that a little bit easier now than I could have years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 15 years ago. And I'm sure that there are many of you who are buying bags online that certainly couldn't take that loss. And even if you're in a position where it could be financially taken a little bit easier now, you still don't want to lose that amount of money. You still don't want to be scammed out of that amount of money. And I just wanted to say, if my reaction at that bag having been in there offended anyone, then I apologise for that. But my reaction was at being scammed. And that is why I was so upset. If I had chosen to buy a counterfeit bag, then that's 110% fine and it was sitting in there. That's absolutely my choice. Just like if you had chose to buy one, that's absolutely your choice. But when someone takes that choice away from you and gives you a counterfeit under the pretense of being authentic, that's something else altogether. Now, I also got asked where the bag is now, and just to give you an update on that, because at the time I was very, very upset and heightened in my emotions. Yeah, heightened in my emotions is putting it mildly. But at the time, I was sort of saying to you guys, what do I do with this? Do I burn it? Do I bin it? What do I do with it? Because I don't want to keep it. And the reason that I didn't want to keep it wasn't that I don't want to have a counterfeit bag about me. It was that it represented to me being scammed. I didn't want the bag anywhere near me. I didn't even want to look at the bag because I knew how much I'd paid for that bag. I knew I had paid the price of an authentic bag, and now there it was looking back at me as a counterfeit. So yes, at the time I was asking, what do I do with this bag? And I considered, do I burn it, whatever, all of those options. In the end, whenever I calmed down slightly and thought it through, I, contrary to what some may believe, absolutely, fully, 110% remember where I came from. I can't and don't forget where I come from. This is something that was absolutely not in my life whenever I was growing up, and I can't just suddenly not be the person that I always have been. And it just seemed so wasteful to me to burn it or to bin it. It felt wrong, because as much as it is a counterfeit, it was still a lovely bag to look at, and the materials and all were still lovely. And I am very, very aware that there are a huge amount of people that are not in such a privileged position that I am in, and that there's a lot of people that would love to have that but just wouldn't be able to. Some of you guys did reach out to me and ask if I would sell it or if I would pass it on. That was a legal minefield, because it is illegal to sell or pass on counterfeit goods, so I couldn't sell it to anyone, even with you knowing that it is a counterfeit. I apologise for that, but to be honest, I also didn't want to be involved in the sale of counterfeit goods. That's just something that I wasn't comfortable with, even though you would have known what you were buying. I just couldn't do that. At the same time though, I couldn't burn it and I couldn't bin it. So where the bag has gone to is, there was someone that is very well known to me, who is in my life and I have known for a long time, that has been very greatly impacted by the current pandemic and the loss of their employment. And I know that that person will love that bag and value that bag and love using that bag regardless of where it came from or what the authenticity of it is. And given that they know that, I was happy enough for them to have that bag and use it and love it, so as it wasn't a waste. It wasn't a waste of those materials, and it wasn't just being put into the dumpster and added into landfill. We did, however, cut the tags out. I trust that person 100%. I know they wouldn't try to sell it back on or anything, but you don't know what could happen inadvertently in the future. So we've cut the tags out so as it can't be sold on. It can't be misrepresented. And that person knows the origin of the bag, knows this whole story, and they are using that bag. Now, I know that they will appreciate it. I know that whenever this crazy world goes back to normal and they get back onto their feet, that they're going to be sitting, because this is a choice that they would make, they would love. I know one day they're going to be sitting with this in the background. I have absolutely no doubt, because like me, that person is a grafter, and they will achieve what it is they want to achieve. But right now, the world's just dealt them a bit of a hand with what's going on, as it has to many, many people. And I just, whenever they showed an interest, I thought, yeah, absolutely, I trust you. I know that you're not going to try to do anything with this bag, and I'm not lying to you. You know where it comes from, and I trust that you will, and I know that you will enjoy it and that you will love those materials. And then it didn't feel to me as if I was forgetting my own roots. I come from a council estate. I just feel comfortable with that. So that is where the bag is. It was not sold, absolutely no money passed hands, but it will at least be being used. And I hope that that answers everybody's queries. I know that a lot of you had supported me and were thinking, you know, you should get your money back. And I would have if I'd acted quicker. So that is on me, but I'll not do that again. And please don't you do that again either. So thank you so much for watching me. I hope that this has answered all of the questions that you guys did have about the follow-up. I hope that this has explained everything. If you do have anything else or anything you want to know, just leave me a comment in the comment box. And once again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're well. I hope your family's well. I hope this crazy time is not too tough. Take care, and I will see you again in the next one.